Hey y'all, it is your girl, Just Be Audrey Lane. Make sure you guys subscribe to Just Be Audrey Lane. Hit that bell so you can get the notification of when I am on. I am coming to you guys today. Yes, it is late. I'm trying to get better with that. I know I keep saying that, but I am trying to get better with that. Um, I actually did like some other videos today, but they were like, interrupted by, my children coming in, and I was giving them some instructions for like doing their chores and everything, and then I had to pause. So then when I came back, I just was like rambling over the place, and I was like, I don't want to ramble. If I'm not speaking in truth, then look, hey, I wonder how this would go if I get my phone and everything set up to do everything on the live. You guys will probably be laughing at me. I don't know. I'll probably be laughing too, so that'll be so we can all do together. But let's get on this journey tonight of um, a lot has been coming to me. It took a little while for me to get what I really wanted to stay out. Guys know I want to be able where God tells me to speak and speak truthfully. So I was having a little struggle. And I really heard him say, even just now, humble. Humble yourself. You know, where is the fact that you don't have to broadcast, and it's not even for the channel, but period, in anything. Because my husband and I, we had a like, we, I wouldn't call it necessarily date night, but we go out. We're friends. We still live in the same home together and everything, and we went out tonight and we talked about the divorce and how everything is going to be going and everything. And, you know, I'm trying to make sure that we go about this in the right way. That I don't hate him. I don't like the fact that he had an affair, but I don't hate him because what does hate get you? It doesn't get you anywhere. I don't see where that can you can't learn and move in hate. You can, but it's not productive. It doesn't grow you. It keeps you just stunning, and I don't want that to, for me. So I was trying to, and we had this great conversation. It was hard at times and, rocky. But like I said, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is new to me, and I kind of enjoy it. My pastor today preached on, the art of patience. And I was so happy to hear how he broke everything down, because I had just was telling you guys and sharing with you guys the weight in the weight. And I just learned for myself today that I'm going to enjoy the wait. WAIT. I'm going to enjoy it because whatever God is doing in me, I feel a shift. I feel a change. And it's been more so for me to, one, like I was explaining, I need to get my butt up and get downstairs for, you know, God and I to do our communication, because I used to do it upstairs in my room on the bed. And because I was like, oh, so my bed is so comfortable, I can just lay back down and go to sleep. And, God talks with me. Don't get me wrong. I talk with God, whether I am, here in my corner, on my bed, walking around, in my car, at all times. But it is nothing like actually when you put the time out just for him. Now, I wanted this, if you guys can see, it's my corner. I wanted something that would be just for him and I, with no distractions. Like, it just so happened at church, I have a corner that I just go to, and that's where he and I, we communicate. Like, this corner is something. Like, I mean, my son made a joke about it. Like, Mom, we always go to that corner. I don't know what it actually is about the corner, but I go, and I think it's more so because, when you're a kid, you know, that's where your parents are kind of place you. That's what God is telling me. Get your behind in the corner, because that's where you listen. I know for me as a kid, I could be in the corner, and that was my time for me to think of what did I do, and oh my goodness, why did I do it, and how do I go about correcting it? How do I go about, oh my goodness, I don't want to do that no more because I don't want to be here. But I also use that corner for my worship. That's my corner of where literally he and I connect. So it's a corner of everything. It's a corner of discipline. It's a corner of worship. It's a corner of peace. It's a corner of attention where he gets my focus right in there. I can just go in there, and yes, I can. It's times where whoever, because it's not always necessary my pastor, but whoever is up there preaching, but more so teaching, I go over there because I sometimes need to God to break things down for me, and that's where I go to the corner, and it's amazing for me because God has been telling me, get your butt up and go down to your corner, because that's where we need to be. That's where we need to meet. And I find that it gives me a peaceful day. You guys know I always kind of talk about peace, because peace for me is something that I never had before. I was trying to figure out peace before. When you don't have to, when I tell you now, I don't even know how it even comes about. Sometimes literally it just comes, like God sees that, oh, this child needs peace in this moment. He tells me, shut my mouth, open my ears. Open your mouth, open your ears. You know, close your ears to this. You don't need to be around this. And I love it. You guys know I always say before I come on, I make sure I talk. And a lot of reasons of it is I want to truly be genuine. I want to truly be where, God, you are speaking through me. Jesus, I need you to speak through me and say everything. I don't want to be the one just talking to say or whatever. No, I need to just be where he is coming through. It's him coming out, not me. I love the fact that I, Audrey Elaine, am finding out who I am. However, I make sure where it's genuinely him. So if he tells me no, don't, or yes, say, I have to go with it. And it's amazing. So a lot of the times when I tell you, I am in I am in the book of Daniel. However, I was like, it's something more that you are saying to me, God. And it was so funny because, mind you, I just was telling you guys about how he was talking to me about get up, come and do your word, come down here, and not your word. I'm not saying like it's my word, but your word, what we do. I'm reading his word. This is what fills me. And it gives me, my nourishment. So it's like, come on down here, do your word, get to the table, let's do this. And I just, you guys know I always go like this and I point. And I landed on the book of Joshua. Just so happened, Joshua 1, 8, and 9. So I'm going to read it to you guys. And it is, well, I'm in the New Living Translation, so this may be different in other books. However, I am in the New Living Translation. And Joshua 1, 8 is study this book of instruction continuously. Meditate day and night so you will be sure to obey every everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do. Jesus. This is my commandment. Well, command. This is this is my command. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. When I tell you, even now, to read to you guys, I would have never have done that. I would have never have done that. But now I don't mind stumbling over words because it's the correction in it. You know, and even now, if I read it back to you, study this book of instructions continuously. Meditate on it day and night so you will be sure to obey everything written in it. Only then will you prosper and succeed in all you do. This is my command. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. I am so grateful because I just was telling you, we were having like a conversation and I was trying to figure out like, what are you going to use me? How are you going to use this girl right here who literally has I want to say now I'm at like a 5th, 6th grade reading level, and growing. This girl who, you know, would put herself in the back because it was easy to kind of be in the back and be where no one would by the time they get to all the reading and everything, because when I went to school they went by, you know, where you sat and everything, and it was like I sat in the back, so by the time they would get to me, either the chapter was over or the bell would ring and we had to move on to the next thing. And then when that didn't happen for me, I would put myself as the teacher's pet. So let me be the one handing out the books. Let me be the one actually going to get the tests to hand it out to people. You know, let me be the one helping the teacher with the boards and everything as a distraction, so it would not look as though I didn't know. The girl didn't know. I'm telling you, I didn't know. And when I see myself trying to do that, God brings me right to the forefront. Stop running and doing that. How about you can be the teacher's pet with me? Because I know you. I know where you're lacking at, and I'm going to strengthen you. I know where you're trying to run from, but you can't run from me. So now I am going to be the teacher's pet. But how about this? He's been telling me, go see this person and go open up your mouth to that person because I need you to know and learn something. So for me to just, you know, oh, I mean, literally, guys, it's like boom. And I landed right on here. And to study this book of instructions continuously, you guys have no clue. Like when I'm like, God, I'm struggling in this area. What do I do? I don't want to come off fake. I don't want to come off like, oh, I'm just doing this because I said I'm going to be, you know, trying to stay in you continuously, Lord, and everything. He knows exactly what I need. So for me to open this up was was amazing. And then the same thing happened. That's why you cannot tell me. You can't. You cannot tell me nothing is by accident. It happens. Or maybe it is by chance. Like God see it. Like this is the chance, the opportunity. The same thing with my book on prayer and everything. I just opened it up and it landed on failures. So amazing, right? So crazy, right? And what I landed on was help me to learn from my failures. Loving Lord. Help me to learn from my failures. Loving Lord. Use them to help me grow. So where I be feeling like maybe I lack in with reading and in school and a lot of subjects, God is like, I am going to teach you. I want you to open up your mouth and ask for help. And I have been doing that lately. I told you guys about the lady who just so happened to be a teacher who's been helping me in reading. And I love that. Now, where I'm going to utilize is the gentleman who I ran into my job yesterday. This man is brilliant. I'm going to utilize him because he knows a lot of different people who can help me. But more so, who I'm going to go and open up my mouth to is the people at my church for because I want to get some spiritual growth, and the best way for me to do it is to study someone, to learn after them, to have my own uniqueness, but for someone to say, hey, I have no problem teaching you. Come on, let's do this. And I'm telling you, I would not have done this. I would not have opened up my mouth for learning. I thought I was good. I knew I wasn't, but I like to say, "Oh no, I'm good. I'm good." When really inside, if my inside could have came out, to literally like turn around and point me in the face and say, "Stop tripping, girl. You ain't all right. You need to open up your mouth." And she been doing that lately. So like I was saying, like my best friend name is Amira, and I'm gonna break it down to you guys. You guys gonna think it's crazy, but it's the true thing for me. My best friend name is Amira. Amira. Because I stand in the mirror and I call myself out on some stuff. She tell me you need to get your act together in this way. You are better than this. You are stronger than this. Oh no, and everything. You gotta stop thinking you good in this area. You need to call out for help. You need to open up your mouth. You need to listen. You need to go and sit your butt down. You need to stop moving around so much. And I like that. I like that. I had no choice but to listen to her. She ain't never say anything that was gonna harm me. This is so weird for me. And I was talking to my best friend of human form, and her and I was laughing about this, like cracking up because she gets me. She like gives me like I have this thing where I can kind of do people faces and everything, and she gives me the and it's just so crazy because my best friend has like these gorgeous lips. I mean, they are gorgeous to die for lips. She is amazing. She's amazing, amazing, and she gave me this look like we both do this thing with our eyes. I don't even know why sometimes, but like how we talk and communicate, we're able to like communicate even sometimes without words. So her and I had a good conversation yesterday, and we were able to like help one another, and you know, because she knows what's going on with me. And one thing I love about that is she knew something was off, and she was like, I'm used to you coming and not wanting to say anything to me in a lot of ways, but she knew at some point I was going to come and say something to her. And I am glad that I did, because, you know, she knows me. She yeah. I was about to say her name, but yeah, my girl knows me. And I love the fact that, and this is not anything to do with my marriage, she and I was talking about the fact of my growth and just where I'm trying to make sure I am allowing God to shift me and move me in. And she was like, yeah, you know, her and I, you know, we come from some praying mothers and praying grandmothers. I mean, yeah. And for her and I to just be able to talk and communicate, it's amazing. We don't go into bitter, we don't go into craziness. We have our times, but we know when it's appropriate and when it's not. You know, I I love, because at times when I am the one that is all over the place, she's the quiet and like, no, we're not gonna do this. And then at times when she's all over the place, I have to be the one like, no, we're not gonna do this. When I tell you my girl is a firecracker, she, yes, I don't even know if I should say firecracker. The girl's like freaking dynamite. But she knows how to rope it in. I know when things are about to pop off for her, because she's the opposite of what most people may think. She doesn't get all rambunctious and all this and all of that. No. When she gets quiet is when I gotta keep my eye on her. Because in her head she's already contemplating some stuff. But I thank God, because now we're up in age. Our mindsets are not even on that. Like we have come a long way with our behaviors, and thank God for growth. And I love the fact that her and I, we went out yesterday and just had some, like I said, I don't think, because we'll go to each other houses, and more so, you know, we'll go either to you know, family functions or stuff like that. But for us to actually go and sit at a restaurant and chill and relax and just get things off of us and bust it up was just something that really needed to be done for her and I both. We were able to celebrate and love on each other, and get some powerful things out, and like, okay, where are we gonna go from here? What is the plan for the next? And I even have to call her now for us to go. Like, we got to be moving in production. Like, man, I thank God He has truly gotten me in a space of opening up my mouth, because before I would kind of hold things in, and it didn't get me nowhere. So this is where I be telling us where we gotta get up and open up our mouths. Like, there should be no way in the world that we should just be letting things kind of get our mindsets down. We don't. We have to just be open to, you know, listening and talking. That's communication right there. And I love that, you know, we had a powwow yesterday. Her, myself, and then the other family had some with us. But I love that production, progress, and just growth. Man, I myself, and not putting myself down into a place of I don't want to be uncomfortable, or I want to say I'm less than. I am not less than. When I tell you this girl right here, I have so much in me and so much that I am getting out and everything. And so I am starting my nonprofit. I am in the midst of starting like two different business things. Um, they're not really in the making. They're in the making. So let me not claim that they're not. I am slow walking them because I'm right now in a learning process of, you know, how do I go about. That went down the wrong. But how do I go about? How do I go into business? And that's why I'm glad that I'm hooking up with the people that I am hooking up with, because they know better than I do. So I am trying to write things out. God has been telling me to get a book and write things out. I The funny thing about it, y'all, is I'm not even tired. I yawn a lot when I feel, for me, I have to really take in what I'm saying. Um, and what I mean by taking in what I'm saying is I really need to be letting it saturate in me. So I'm definitely going to get and do the writing and everything because I have it down. But now I have a book that is specifically for, you know, when I get instructions to write it down. You know, because I have about like a couple different books going around. But this book is solely for when God gives me something, you write it in here, you write the date, you write the time, and you go for it. We're going to have to get that. We're going to have to get a journal that's specifically for instructions from God for us to do. Now, we're going to have to get a journal for other things of getting things off and out of us that we write down into as well. But an instruction journal is good because it it has us to know where our task is, and where we leave off and where we need to pick back up, and how we can go around changing this, what mistakes were made for us to correct and go forth. That's how we succeed. You know, we're going to have some mistakes, but that's how we learn to succeed, is through those mistakes. So get you guys a couple of them. You can get them from dollar stores or wherever. It don't have to be, it doesn't even have to say journal in it. Composition books, we all know our children have a lot of books at home now because we didn't bought a whole bunch of books for them to have for the school year. However, it didn't happen where most of our kids are still doing school from home. We gotta write it out. We gotta write it out because I want to get up and stay in progressing. I don't want to have to have where one I am not. I mean, I had faith. I had faith. I'm telling you, I had faith, and I have work now that I just been doing, but they gotta align with one another. They have to align with one another, and the best way for me is to make sure I write it out, so I have like this checklist and this point, this reference to kind of go by, and you know where I need to be going. So we guys have to do it, because I believe also that it's the best way of keeping us in a position of no distractions. It has me in a position of, staying focused. Like I said, even though I don't know if I would necessarily say that this really, will be posted as humbleness, but God did humble me, because I did make, like I said, 2 videos, but they weren't really what needed to come out. It was not anger or bitterness. It was more so of, you're not really speaking what I need you to get out to people. You're not being yourself. And you want to be yourself to people, so it allows them to know, hey, all I have to do is be myself. Be myself. So, yes, God had to humble me real fast and say, nope, that's not me. Nope, you're not doing that. You're not going to put that out there. No. And even though, like, I was just like, oh, I can get it done. It really was literally after I got it done, I was like, this don't even sound like me. This is not me. And I was like, that's like, because it's not. You're not a performer. You get up there and you speak out your truth. What are you trying to do? I'm no performer here. Like, when we do God's work, performance can't be in it at all. Performance can't be in it at all. I love the fact that I just literally come on here and I talk to be me, and I cannot lose sight of who I am at all. And even though where I be like, oh, I'm speaking the truth, what truth is it? What truth really was it? Because my video wasn't bad at all, I would say that. But it was just too much of me trying to want to speak out to like show my side of the story of what's going on within my marriage. And to be honest with you guys, I love sharing with you. I don't mind it. I love getting Audrey Elaine up and out. But to be honest, I don't even need to worry about a side of a story. I really don't. The main person who knows the story is God, and He's all that need to know it. Because I don't have to worry about what's happening. I can truly give it to Him and be fine with it. I truly do love the peace of everything that is going on with me just voicing out and speaking up and opening up and I really want to get a live video thing going, because I would really like to have where we can correspond with one another and talk with one another and share and grow with one another, celebrate one another. Let's celebrate one another. That's been on my mind, you guys know, for about a week now. Celebrating one another, not tearing down one another, not finding where we want to poke at one another. That's not necessary. Growth is ooh. Now, don't get me wrong. Growth is, not comfortable. But growth is not where you have a mindset of, you know, wanting to destroy. That's, yeah. So I love the fact of I open and telling God, correct, well, yes, creating me a clean heart, but correct me, Father, correct me, because I don't want to just be out here, you know, talking just any old way. I really want it to be where He is speaking through me, and I know that when I can sit here in calmness and sit here in peace. I know that when at the end of the night, like I tell you guys, I get on here, I spit everything right on out, and I go get on my knees, say my prayers, and then I have to. I don't finish them always on my knees. I would be lying to tell you I do. I don't. I finish them on my bed, and next thing you know, I'm up. I have alarms set on my phone for the just in case I may oversleep, but that doesn't happen. I get up usually the same time every day to do what I need to do, to come downstairs and say, hey, God, come on, let's do this. And not be like, come on, let's do this. Oh, I just want to get it over. Well, come on, God. Good morning to you. I know you up. Thank you. Thank you for waking me up. And we get down here and we get to having a great conversation. And that's good. I love our encounter, our engagement, our interaction with one another. It's just it's something for me. I was picking up my daughter earlier for us to go to the supermarket to pick up some items for her, and her neighbor across the street um, had came out and knocked on, well, came to the window because it was down, and she was saying to me how she needed. I was playing music. I was playing one of my favorite songs, and she was like, "We need that on the block." And her and I just started talking and going through some things, and that's what God is saying, because when she came to my window, I kind of was like this, and then my face literally stopped. My face literally stopped because, one, the music or anything, it doesn't really have anything to do with it. If God sent her to my window for this reaction, it was for Him to come out to her. Because she was like, I was in my kitchen cooking dinner, like in the back, and she was like, my door was cracked and everything, and I heard it because my music was up loud. It really was up loud, because when this song come on, I love it. And she came out, and when we get to talking, I literally don't even know what was really said, because it wasn't me. It was, at least I don't think it was me, because I wouldn't have talked to anybody like this. I wouldn't have had where my face would have stayed scrunched up like that. Like, why are you walking up to my car? What are you doing? But that correction right then and there, God corrected me and told me to shut up and let me come out. And literally, He did. And her and I talked, and more so, I know the feeling of wanting someone to actually just talk with you. And the fact that I was able to just literally like talk with her, I was like shocked myself because I wouldn't have done this before. But it was more so, it was not for me. It was not for me. I invited her to just come knock on my daughter's door. I'll be over here. You probably see me. You probably hear me before you see me because of the car. But that just depends on what I'm listening to and what song I'm listening to. But I was just so happy to actually just share and talk with this young lady and to hear, what she's going through and how her and I talked. And I hope that whatever was saturated in her, that God does a abundantly free fall blessing in her. I mean, Jesus, that he literally does it, and it's going to be so amazing because that communication and shift, for all you have to do is just tell somebody. When you want to talk with God, you just open up your mouth and he comes right there, right on in. You don't have to, like I said, say these distant vowels and therefore and move it. No, that's not how it goes, at least not for me. And like I told her, all you have to do is open up your mouth and he's going to do the change in you. Your conversation with him is going to be amazing, and it's going to be a conversation that you and him have. Don't worry at all, because he will get you right within him. Don't be worried about trying to come to him right. If I kept living in the facade of, let me just look like I'm okay, which I'm quite sure people who really, really, when he speaks to people, I'm quite sure he was speaking to someone to say, this girl not really okay. But you gotta have that willpower to say, you know what, no more, I need help. And then that's when he will send the people who like, yeah, we couldn't move because you weren't ready to move. So this young lady is a shift is about to happen for her and her family. And man, God, I just ask you to have your way and your will for her. I look at a lot of things in my life, and when I go back over a lot, I'm grateful for my past, because me doing the things that I did literally was, I want to say, a setup for God to be like, okay, when you get tired of wanting to live this life of this, and you come to me to change you, when you get tired of it, I'm going to change your whole thinking. And I thank him for that, because I I can't even explain some days where the peace and everything comes from. I can't explain it. And I love that It's growth. I love that even though someone has said to me, oh, you do a lot of just vaguely talking and everything. You can say that, and how about it doesn't even bother me, because the fact that I talk, I can let you know now the devil was scared. Because this girl wouldn't before, and now I do. I go. Let me tell you, the best thing you can do is literally get out of your own way. When you are so busy trying to do things and come to God right and try to be like, oh, I'm waiting for this. Oh, if this only happened, if I could have it like this, that doesn't happen. You don't need that for God to do. I love the fact that I really moved out of his way, and it's amazing for me. I love this. So if someone wants to say you're just talking vainly, you're just saying the same old things all over again, I'm like, okay. I don't go off of what they say. You're not Jesus. So there's a difference between when God is sending someone to talk to you, and because it's him coming out through them, versus when somebody want to come and just say any old thing. We have to learn the difference. We have to learn the difference. Because if not, you will go off of what someone else is saying to you versus uh, what God is telling you and showing you. Because he shows and tells. He shows and tells. He tells and then shows. However you want to put it. Man, what I truly say, God, your will, not mine. Things have truly changed for me. Oh wow. That's what I do. I just open the book and kind of turn to it. So this is actually insomnia. So when you're having issues with sleeping, loving Father, fill my heart with peace tonight. May I relax in your presence. And that wasn't even something I was doing, because I've been finding peace and been able to fall asleep with no problem. I just was like, let me see what I can turn literally. Like I literally do this, guys, and point to something and then read it. Help me make wise choices when I consider who I to when okay, help me to make wise choices when I consider who I confide in about my divorce. Wow. I need to talk it through, and yet I don't want to discuss it with all my friends. I can't reveal details to everyone. It isn't even right. My marriage was a private thing until this happened. Now I feel like everyone is wondering what's happened and looking for answers. Help me to know when to speak and when to remain silent, Father. Give me discernment as I choose a friend to whom I can trust to listen and remain confidential. That's something. That's something right there. So I mean, phew, that kind of threw me off of what I was about to say to you guys. But yeah, I love it. I don't know if I should do one more, but I probably might. Like, hey, see, my other book has first fruits, and it literally goes by the day. But this, I can kind of pick what it is because it's like, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, 1,000 prayers for difficult times. And I literally, sometimes I can go in to the contents and then go off of what I may need to do. But a lot of times I do literally just open it and go to something and just go off of reading it. Like, the world may call me a failure, but you see it quite differently. Lord, I am in this world, but I am not of it. I am an alien here, for my real home is heaven. When I don't have a large bank account because I've given freely to others, remind me that money is not the most important thing. When I choose to stay in place where I am making an impact for the kingdom, remind me that this honor is yours. It's okay to let the opportunity, okay, hold on. It's okay to let an opportunity for me promote or change pass by if I am where I feel I should be. In Jesus' name, I pray for confidence and to do what is right, regardless of how the world may view it. This was something that was needed because I had not a confrontation, but I had a disagreement earlier where someone was thinking I should be doing more, and I just didn't let it get to me because it was like, what you want me to do until God tells me to do it, I'm not moving. So yeah, you may say this about me, but I'm not going to move until he tells me to move. And then here it is, this again. And this is failure too. Yeah. See? I love this book. We cannot let people try to tell us something, and especially because let me tell you, there's a difference when God is sending someone to you to tell you not to move versus someone just trying to tell you don't go. And a lot of the times, like my parents would say, well, don't blame the enemy on oh, they just want to tell you not to do something. Sometimes it is God telling us don't move, stay still, sit your butt down. You know, this is not for you. This is not for you. But it's a difference on how he does it. God does not do an argument. He and if he, when he sends somebody through you for it, and you, this is how you can identify if it's God or not. They don't argue. They say and go. Because literally God is like, it's your will. You don't want to, you don't want to grasp it and get it, hey. Man, I released a lot out of me today. I mean, all day I was kind of going through some stuff. And I've been having to talk to him all day. And not really talk to him the way that I wanted to. I enjoy, I think I don't run from him no more. Man, I like being with books and having books now. But it's like, man, I gotta get my life together and continue reading and just know, because it's in His Word. Everything is basic. You know what the Bible is, right? Basic instructions before leaving Earth. Basic B instructions I before B leaving L Earth E. I love the fact of read Joshua 1:8. It was meant for me to turn to it. Man, I'm going to love our conversation tomorrow, even tonight. Give me your vision. You guys have a good one. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Just be Audrey Elaine. Make sure you hit that bell so you can get the notifications. I am actually going to start coming on earlier because unless I'm reaching, I guess, London, Tokyo, France, wherever, I don't need to be coming on this late. I gotta make sure I come and put the time out for early production. I do. And saying that as for myself, of I want to be productive and do things early because I do have where I I want to make sure that I'm being productive because I want to start going to sleep a little bit earlier. Things is about to change in my work dynamics that I need to be going to bed a little bit early. So I am going to be coming on earlier with you guys and just being with you guys early. And I know you guys will be happy with that. So I love you guys. I so appreciate you guys coming on and celebrating, with me and just taking this journey with me. I hope that you guys start your journey on YouTube. We love coming on to make sure that we are watching and learning and growing within YouTube of, oh, I like to go and I like to see how people cook. I like to see how people, do crafts and all of this stuff. And there's someone out there that's going to love you for you and watch you in your growth for you. So come on. Get yourself a YouTube channel. It's so relaxing. It's so peaceful. It's so you being you. Make sure you come into it for you to be you. No one else. And I'm going to support. You make sure you tag me in. I'll support. I'll celebrate. I have no problem with doing that. I'll make sure I subscribe, hit that bell for the notifications on when you on, and let's do it. Let's do this. So again, I love you guys, and I truly mean it. I love you guys. I love myself. And more importantly, I love God. Jesus, I love you. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful Monday at this point, because it's going to be going into Monday very soon. I hope you guys had a wonderful Sunday. You guys be blessed and have a great, great night. Bye now.